Hi everyone, Kelt here, bringing you my thoughts on the British royal family and Harry and Meghan. And this is part 2 of Meghan's first podcast interview. Meghan Markle's debut podcast interview with Jamie Kern-Lima was supposed to be her shining moment of raw honesty, but it played like a soap opera rerun, complete with perfectly timed tears and a script that screamed Hollywood. Those sobs over Harry's secret letter and her children's note were pure theatre, say critics, and the X crowd agrees, calling her out for faking it like she's still on Suits. But Meghan's tearful act isn't new. She's been accused of it before, most notably at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, where a gloved finger and a suspicious shimmer under her eyes sparked whispers of Vaseline or some other tear-inducing trick. Let's dive deep into her acting playbook from the podcast to the funeral and expose how Meghan uses every Hollywood tool in the box to sell her story, even if the audience isn't buying it. Picture this: Meghan, makeup-free, in cosy sweats, sitting with her pal Jamie Kern-Lima, ready to bare her soul. The cameras roll, and right on cue, Jamie hands her a letter from Harry. Meghan's eyes well up, her voice cracks, and she's dabbing at her face like she's in a Lifetime movie. Then comes the children's letter from Archie and Lily, and she's crying again, reading it aloud with a quiver that could win an audition. It's emotional, but it's also suspiciously perfect, like she's hitting every mark in a script. Critics pounced. The Sun called the letter moment cinematic, as if it was staged by a director. The Daily Mail went further, saying Meghan's team planned every tear to tug at heartstrings. On X, at Royal Tea Spill, was brutal. Meghan's tears are so fake, I bet she practiced in front of a mirror. It's Suits all over again. At Suits Skeptic posted a clip of her crying on the show next to the podcast, saying, "Same face, same sob, she's not crying, she's performing." Users pointed out her voice too, how it gets all breathy and shaky when she wants to seem deep, like she's channeling Oprah. At TruthTeller22 tweeted, "Meghan's voice drops when she's emotional. It's like she's reading a script, not feeling it." Let's talk about those tears. They looked real enough, but something was off. No messy streaks, no red eyes. Just a neat little glisten that disappeared fast. Ex-user at NoMoreMegs noticed, "She dabs her eyes, but there's no wet tissue. Where's the actual crying?" It's a pattern, and it takes us back to the Queen's funeral, where Meghan's tears raised even bigger red flags. At Queen Elizabeth's funeral in September 2022, Meghan was caught on camera wiping a single tear outside Westminster Abbey, standing next to Camilla and Catherine. It was a solemn moment. The world was watching, and Meghan's lip quivered just right. But very observant critics spotted something odd. A faint shimmer under her eyes, and a smudge on her black-gloved finger after she wiped her face. The internet exploded with theories that she'd use Vaseline or a similar Hollywood trick to fake her tears. And here's how it works. Actors sometimes dab Vaseline, menthol sticks or tear sticks under their eyes to irritate them and produce tears on cue. It's an old industry secret, and Meghan, a former actress, would know it well. She often said that she could cry out of one eye, left eye, where people would say, "Come on, Meghan, left eye," and she would cry. I'm wondering if she would wipe that eye before she did that. I don't see that she would be exceptionally good at something like that. It's only recently made me think that maybe she faked that as well. That so-called ability. The Express quoted royal biographer Tom Bower, who called her funeral tears acting, saying she was crying for herself, not the Queen. A TikTok video that went viral, cited by the Daily Record, claimed Meghan only cries from her left eye, a trick she bragged about in a 2014 interview on her blog, The Tig. In the clip she said, "Oh, I can do that so well. They're like, Meghan, one tear, left eye, go. Give me 3 seconds. Yes, 3 seconds to turn around and wipe your eye." Ex-user @amuse shared the video tweeting, "Meghan's an expert at shedding tears. Funeral, check. Netflix, check. Podcast, check." That gloved finger was the smoking gun. Photos showed a slight sheen on her glove after she'd wiped her face, as if she transferred something, maybe Vaseline or Vicks, from under her eye. The South African noted the stoic and sombre look paired with that single tear, calling it too perfect for a genuine moment. On X, @UK Royal Watch, fumed, "Meghan's fake tears at the Queen's funeral still make me sick. That gloved finger smudge, Vaseline 100%. Another user, @MomoFKL, posted, "She wiped her eye and left a shiny mark on her glove. That's not tears, that's Hollywood magic." The theory gained traction because Meghan's history as an actress made it believable. She's not just crying, she's producing a moment. But why Vaseline or Vicks at a funeral? It's about control. Real grief is messy, with red noses, puffy eyes, uneven sobs. A lot of people will wear sunglasses. Meghan's tears were pristine. A single drop rolling down her left cheek, no blotchy skin in sight. The Daily Record quoted critics who said she was forcefully crying to win public sympathy, especially after her rocky exit from the royals. Her 2014 TIG confession didn't help, where she boasted about crying on demand. Ex-users like @JR428455598 referenced it, tweeting, "One tear, left eye," just like she said. Meghan's funeral act was a performance, not grief. Some defended her, like journalist Jonathan Sacerdoti, who told the News her tears seemed genuine given the funeral's weight, but even fans on X admitted it looked staged. One wrote, "If Meghan can fake cry that well, why do it at a funeral? It's too obvious." The Vaseline theory stuck because it fit her pattern. Every emotional moment feels like it's been rehearsed, lit, and directed. Meghan's not just relying on Vaseline. She's got a whole Hollywood playbook to enhance her interviews and public moments. So let's break it down. In the podcast, her no makeup look was anything but. The Daily Mail reported that her bare-faced vibe took a glam squad to perfect, with subtle foundation, concealer, and highlighter to make her skin glow. The lighting was soft, casting a warm halo around her face, ideal for tearful close-ups. Ex-user @DuchessDoubter tweeted, "Meghan's natural look in that podcast was hours of makeup and studio lights. She's not crying, she's posing. It's a trick from her Suits days. Use lighting to make emotions pop." At the funeral, her black hat and cape, designed by Stella McCartney, framed her face perfectly, drawing eyes to that single tear. The Independent called her outfit iconic, but critics on X saw it as a costume for her role as mourner-in-chief. Meghan's voice in the podcast was a dead giveaway. When she read Harry's letter, it went all breathy and shaky, like she was channeling a rom-com heroine. The Mirror called it Oprah-esque, a deliberate affectation to sound vulnerable. Ex-user at Skeptical Scribe posted, Meghan's voice gets fake sad every time she wants sympathy. It's like she's auditioning. This isn't new. In her Netflix docuseries, Harry and Meghan, she's used the same quivering tone when sobbing, prompting ex-user at Crocodile Tears to write, Crocodile Tears and a fake voice. She's always an actress. Her 2014 TIG video showed her practicing vocal shifts, proving she knows how to sell a line. Meghan's podcast tears came with precise gestures, dabbing her eyes, tilting her head, pausing for effect. The Express quoted a body language expert who said her funeral tears lacked muscle movement for genuine emotion, suggesting she was keeping herself in check. At the podcast, her hand movements were slow and deliberate, like she was signalling, look, I'm emotional. Ex-user at RoyalShade420 tweeted, Meghan's dabbing her eyes like she's in a play. Every move is for the camera. Her funeral glove wipe was similar, slow, visible, almost choreographed. The Express noted her controlling gestures in other events, like wiping Harry's lips at a polo match, showing that she's always directing the scene. The letters in the podcast were pure theatre props. Harry's note, handed mid-interview, felt like a plot twist, and the children's letter was read with such drama it could have been scripted. The Sun called it conveniently cinematic. At the funeral, her glove became a prop, drawing attention to her tear wiping. Ex-user at Gossip Guru X posted, Meghan's glove wipe was so obvious, it was like she wanted us to see it. The timing of her tears is always impeccable, never too early, never too late, always when the cameras are rolling. X was a battlefield after the podcast, with users tearing into Meghan's tears like detectives. At Unremarkable led the charge, tweeting, Meghan's crying is a joke. No tears, just dry dabs. She's faking it worse than at the Queen's funeral. Another post was, those tears are as real as her natural look. Users dug up her TIG video and shared, she admitted she can cry on cue. Podcast funeral Netflix, it's all an act. The funeral tears got even more heat. At UK Royal Watch posted, Meghan's gloved finger had that Vaseline shine. She didn't cry for the Queen, she cried for the headlines. Users called her narcissistic for crying at such a public moment, with at Royal Tea Spill saying, while Kate and Camilla grieved quietly, Meghan made it a show. Vaseline or not, it's disgusting. Even her defenders were lukewarm, with one ex-user writing, maybe she was sad, but that left eye trick is too convenient. Newspapers and websites have been relentless. The Express ran a story titled, Meghan Markle cries out of one eye after mastering fake tears, citing her funeral performance and linking it to her TIG confession. The Daily Record doubled down, saying that she cried on demand at the funeral, with critics noting the left eye tear as proof of her acting chops. The Hollywood Gossip asked if she was actually upset at the funeral, quoting ex-users who called her tears crocodile tears. The Telegraph had experts analyse her tears, saying they look controlled, with no visible moisture. And the Daily Mail claimed her sobs were scripted to maximise impact, with an insider saying, Meghan knows how to turn on the waterworks. Her broader podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, was slammed as a flop, with the Times saying it lost listeners fast because people saw through her performative style. The Express even questioned her smarts, quoting a PR expert who said her timing and guest choices, which were no A-listers, just her hairdresser, showed that she's out of touch. The funeral Vaseline rumour got legs from the South African, which noted the suspicious glove smudge and her history of crying on cue. GOTV called her tears fake, saying that the shimmer under her eyes and the glove mark were dead giveaways. Even The Independent, which is usually kinder, admitted her funeral outfit and tears were perfectly pitched. Meghan's tears aren't just about one podcast or one funeral. They're part of a pattern. From her Netflix docuseries to her Oprah interview, every emotional moment feels staged. In Harry and Meghan, she sobbed on cue, and ex-users called it crocodile tears, just like at the funeral. Her Oprah interview had the same quivering lip, the same breathy voice, and the same neat tears. It's like she's got a tearjerker formula: dim lights, soft voice, strategic dab, repeat. Why does she do it? Control. Meghan's a pro at shaping her image, and tears are her currency. At the funeral, she needed to look like a grieving duchess, not the rebel who trashed the royals, not the duchess who told the Queen allegedly to drop dead. In the podcast, she needed to seem relatable, not the actress that she is. But her acting background betrayed her. The Express quoted a dentist who said her Hollywood smile came from braces and whitening, showing she's always enhancing herself. Also veneers, of varying sizes. Her tears are just another enhancement, like her glowy skin or her designer cape. Ex-user at Wales Forever nailed it. Meghan's not crying, she's producing a moment. Vaseline, lighting, voice tricks, it's all fake. The funeral Vaseline rumour is especially damning because it's so specific. That shimmer, that smudged glove, it's hard to explain away. Even if it wasn't Vaseline or Vicks, the perception sticks because Meghan's track record screams artificial. Meghan's fake tears matter because they're eroding her credibility. Her podcast was meant to relaunch her as a relatable figure, but it's bombing. The Times said it dropped out of Spotify's top 100 after 3 episodes, with no big guests to draw crowds. The Daily Mail reported her Netflix show, With Love Meghan, got terrible reviews, with critics calling it gormless lifestyle filler. Her tearful act isn't winning hearts, it's turning people off. One ex-user at Gossip Guru X summed it up. Meghan's crying is as fake as her jam brand. She's not a victim, she's a director. The funeral tears were a low point. Using Vaseline or any trick at such a sacred moment feels like a betrayal, not just of the Queen, but of the public's trust. The Express quoted critics who said she was crying to get the public on side, but it backfired. This is another reason why I think it's so obvious that even Meghan, it's almost as if she wants to be found out. As if the whole thing, not just her acting, but the whole thing is an act. She wants to be caught out. It's almost as if she wants people to know that she's faking these things, which does make sense if you think of the whole thing being theatre. At Royal Shade 420 tweeted, Meghan's funeral tears were a slap in the face to the Queen's memory. Vaseline or not, it's shameful. One X-Post user, who's a fan, says, I love Meghan, but that left eye tear thing is hard to defend, so even her fans were finding it hard. Meghan Markle's podcast was her chance to seem real, but it was just another performance. Her tears, whether from Vaseline or pure acting skill, were too perfect, too staged. The funeral proved it. That gloved finger, that shiny smudge, that single left-eye tear, it's all in her playbook. Straight from her TIG days. She uses Hollywood tricks, lighting, makeup and voice shifts, props, to sell her story. But the cracks are showing. Ex-users are done, calling her out with hashtags like Meghan lies. The press is circling, with the Express and the Daily Mail exposing her every move. Her podcasts flopping, her Netflix shows a dud, and her tears are drying up fast. Meghan is not fooling anyone anymore. She's not a duchess in distress. She's an actress who forgot that her audience is smarter than her script. So, let me have your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.